What if the reason you don't know how to rest is because no rest wasn't a bad habit you picked up? It was the inheritance, a work ethic so loud you can't tell the difference between diligence and self-destruction anymore.
Girl, I was sitting here with my cup of tea, just letting my mind wander back. And I had a realization that I need to share with you. I was talking to one of my good girlfriends the other day. You know, she's a Trini, right? We were here laughing about how we grew up. But then the conversation got quiet. And we realized, looking at each other, that something was heavy. Nobody ever talked to us about how to rest. From the time we were little girls, the only words we understood were work, 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 and school, school, school. I did the math the other day. Yeah, I retired at 46, right? But if I could count the years I've been grinding since I was a child, sugar, I have already put in 38 years of labor. Yo, let's diagnose this real quick. So grab your glass of your tea and pull up a chair because we need to talk about the inheritance we got. Not the money, the other inheritance. The one that says if you aren't working, you aren't living. Do you remember? Let me take you back to a Saturday morning in Brooklyn. You know the vibe. You're in your bed, nice and warm, trying to catch a few more minutes of sleep, and then bam, WLIB turns on. Got some calypso, some reggae, and it's blasting. That was the signal. It wasn't for time for cartoons. It was time for the pledge. It was time for Windex. It was time for the vacuum cleaner and to hang the first load of laundry mommy or granny already washed. We were dusting baseboards. We were scrubbing bathrooms. We were vacuuming floors. You didn't get to play until the house was spotless, and it had to remain so. And then Sunday. Sunday was for the Lord, Heavenly Father. Sunday school and service. And for me, because my mother was in charge of Sunday school attendance, we had to be there early. My mother, she was a superhero, but superheroes don't sleep. She worked 2 jobs to keep the roof over our heads. And I used to watch her come home bone tired and literally slide down the couch to sit on the floor just to ground herself. She was exhausted. But let that phone ring. Let a church member need a ride. Let someone need a favor. She was up and she was out the door. She couldn't say no. And I remember saying to her, Mommy, it's okay to say no. You're tired. And I didn't realize until I was a grown woman, literally within the last few years or so, that I inherited my busyness from her. I thought I was organized. I thought I was just efficient. I built a whole career at places like Amazon, being the one who can fix anything, build any system, handle any pressure. But the truth of the matter was, I was just my mother's daughter. I was building systems so things wouldn't fall apart because I was terrified of the chaos, terrified of people who kept calling because they needed something. That hit me. But here's the thing. That drive, it's our superpower. It's why we run corporate America, even though they don't want to see our faces. It's why we are the backbone of our families. The data says West Indian women work harder than almost anybody else in this country. We show up, but the bill always comes due. When I finally stopped working, my body fell apart. I'm talking about autoimmune issues, inflammation, weight dropping off of me, not because I was dieting, but because I was finally letting go of the stress that was holding me together. I had to learn how to live without the hustle. And let me tell you, it confused everybody. I told my godmother and my father I was retiring at 46, and they looked at me through the phone like I was speaking Greek. To them, resting when you are able-bodied, that's laziness. That's a sin. But I had to break the curse. I had to learn 3 things the hard way. I want to give them to you so you don't have to crash to learn them. First, you actually have to stop. S-T-O-P. I call this restore. And I don't mean sleeping because you're dead on your feet. I mean intentional rest. I mean clearing the calendar. I mean telling people no and not feeling guilty about it. If you are tired, lie down. The world not gonna end. Second, check the blueprint. It's time to rebuild. You have to look at your life and ask, did I build this house for me? Or did I build it to make my mama happy? You are allowed to change the locks. You are allowed to renovate. You are allowed to say, I don't want to do this anymore. If you do, it's time to what I call rebuild. Third, find your joy again. I call this renew. When I stopped working, I started doing puzzles again. I started learning new things just for the fun of it, not for a degree, even though I did get one. But I found the Tiana who existed before the world told her she had to be a worker bee. For who? For what? Why? Well, let me tell you. Let me be very clear. You have always proven you can work. That's what we do. That's what we do. You got the degrees. You have the title. You have the receipts. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Not the job, not the family, not the ghost of our ancestors, and definitely not even to yourself. The most importantly, not to yourself, because we carry that weight. Not only do we carry that weight figuratively, we also carry it literally. Our best bet is to honor them by honoring ourselves first and honoring ourselves by thriving. So I put a little something, as I always do, a little something in the show notes for you. It's a scorecard. It's another scorecard. That's right. Always with the scorecards to help you see if you are ready for your own W-2 freedom season. Because sometimes, keeping with the W-2 is the right thing. But sometimes we got to know, is this thing, that dream, this passion that's in me, am I ready for it? Or do I got to get ready? Because we know what that looks like when we're not ready. So let's do it. Check it out and let's see where you land. But for night, just sit down. What? Yes, that's a thing. That's a thing we can do. Just sit down. Sit down. And for those who like to read a book. Those who like to veg out on TV, veg out on the TV. For those who like to play a game, pull out the Scrabble. Those who like to listen to music, why not a little vinyl? Slow it down. Or do absolutely nothing at all. It's all right. Because the cleaning can wait, the cooking can wait, all the things can wait. Love you, sis. Keep building and know that you're not doing it alone. See you next time. Bye-bye. Have a question you want me to deconstruct at the drafting table? Go to asktiana.online/ask and leave me a voice note. Thank you so much for joining me at the drafting table. Remember, this is more than a podcast. It's a community of architects, and we are all building together. So you do not have to build alone. Until next time, keep building.